Are you ready to have an audience?
Let's get it. Let's get him on fire.
As long as my signal works good, we should be solid. What's up, guys? Long time no see. We are back.
Mm,
Just want to jump on and catch up with the happenings in the world with my man JP.
yeah,
Easy. How you doing,
fire.
man?
What's good with you, bro? What's good
We
with you?
act,
Let's
we
just
act,
try
we
this
act, we
again.
acting like we haven't been talking to each other for the
Yeah,
past two
let's
hours.
let's just try this again, bro.
For
We
those
gotta
of
do
you,
this
yeah, for
in
those of you who
person.
don't know, I just tried to go live, like literally 20 minutes ago, and just the whole thing crashed. So, sorry about that. Having some serious technical difficulties here. I think it's the Obama internet.
Oh,
You know how that is, man.
not the Obama internet.
You don't know how that is. You ain't
I
never
mean,
live in the slums. Sorry.
it's about as close as it can get to T-Mobile.
Hey! I take offense to that, man. T-Mobile's pretty good.
I mean, I got T-Mobile and I work there, so I understand. Mhm. Yeah,
Anyways,
it got its ups and downs.
yeah. Well, look, guys. Oh man. There we go. If you are just joining the room, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. I know it's been some time since I've been on. I apologize, everyone. I appreciate you guys. Bear with me. Um, things in life sometimes happen where you got to kind of focus on that, and I prioritize things in life sometimes, and it just takes away a lot of your time, your energy, your resources, all that good stuff. So I don't want to make excuses. I just wanted to lay that out there, because JP, he's not a man full of excuses, isn't that right?
I mean, not really, bro. I mean, you got to do it. I mean, I'm gonna always be here for you, dog. It's up to you though.
Can y'all believe this man told me that he is currently on a regimen where he's eating peanut butter, what is it, grilled peanut butter sandwiches for
Well,
breakfast?
not I don't not the
Correct
grill.
me, correct
But
me, correct me.
it's peanut butter and honey for breakfast. Peanut
Okay.
butter and honey sandwich for breakfast.
Okay.
For lunch, it's a salad,
Okay.
and then for dinner, I either if I want to be lazy, I just eat some a tuna sandwich with some spinach and some cheese with some baked Lay's chips or some regular Lay's chips. Or or I do the breakfast and the lunch thing that I just said, and then I either cook some steak, some brown rice, and some vegetables,
Mm.
or I do like some grilled chicken, some rice, and some vegetables.
Dang, man, that actually all sounds absolutely disgusting.
I mean, shit, like, I mean, it's not, but it's a trick of the mind. Like, again, bro,
Yeah,
one
30
thing about
days.
it, and two things for sure. When you start it, once you see results, that will make you want to do it more. That's the only thing that made me want to do it more. Is the
Mm-hmm.
result.
Mm.
Because I
But what was those first 10 days like though? Was it excruciating, like having to change your whole mindset, rewire your thinking and like your habits and break out of that cycle? Was it hard those first 10 days?
no, because I was before I tried it, I was a bad eater. Like I would only eat like one time a day.
One time a day?
One time a day. And
Would you overindulge? Like when you did get something to
it
eat,
was just some trash, like some
yeah, I
fast
know.
food or something.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah, that's me.
starting to eat 3 times a day, my body went through shock.
Mm.
It was like, what are you doing? You never really fed me this much.
But
like,
what about okay? So from a like biological evolutionary standpoint, what about like our ancestors? Didn't they eat like one meal a day because food was so scarce and hunting and gathering things like that? I mean, you think they were out there just slaughtering buffalo and deer and game um,
prioritize
every
lunch and
day like
dinner.
that? Say it again.
I don't think our ancestors sat at the table and had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No,
Right, 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 right,
I
right.
don't believe that, but I think the just the their regimen, right? I believe that it was discipline still because I believe that they had shit going during the day. They was motivated to do shit during the day, was doing shit all the
Because they
time.
was busy trying to survive. It sounds
Their
like.
minds were focused on some other shit. We as regular humans and free humans, we got too much idle time.
Way too much idle time, and
Yeah.
everything's so convenient today. To that, with the advent of just automation, everything is so convenient now. Like you can literally get whatever you want, not even having to leave your
So
home.
so we don't have any appreciation.
Yep, yep, yep.
We
And you're not going to appreciate, you're not going to respect or value anything that you don't really have to work for.
but the question is though, as humans that take life for granted, how can you not appreciate life itself and understand that the body is the temple and the body is the only thing that's really keeping this is a rental that's keeping you around.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you don't feed it, if you don't take care of it, it's no way that the
Hmm.
spirit can, you know what I'm saying? That it's it just because the body, you trash in the body, we also trash in the mental spirit also by the things that we indulge in, not only food,
Mind, body, and
mind.
spirit.
Yeah, so
Mind,
the
body, and
things we
spirit.
watch, the things we listen to, we
Hmm.
we're trashing the temple completely with the things we eat,
Yeah,
the things we listen to. We just trashing the temple, period. We don't
yeah.
have no. I think COVID is the one thing that really made the pandemic really made a lot of people realize life.
Hmm.
Kids, I'm gonna be honest, kids would never understand. But now being in your 30s and watching and knowing, I tell people all the time, bro, I remember when my mom was 33. I remember I
Hmm.
remember being 14, you know what I'm saying? I
Yep,
remember being
yep,
14 years old, watching my 33-year-old mama get
yep.
ready for work, go do
Hmm.
her hair. My mama walking in and out, going to work, and me being a teenage child, and my mom going through that phase, that third decade of her life, and you say, damn man, like we used to say, man, ma, you old, but now
Hmm.
so fast in the blink of an eye, 15, you know what I'm saying, 15, 17 years later, shit, look at me, I'm the same age watching my teenage son
Hmm.
that's fucking 14.
You have a 14-year-old?
So and then
Whoa,
my
whoa, 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 whoa! Pause, pause. You have a. You might have told me this too, by the way, but you have a 14-year-old?
yeah, and I have
Dang.
a 6 year old.
Wow. Okay.
So
Okay.
so you look at that and you watch.
You're in pretty good shape for an old man.
Whoa, man. But hey, listen, so it's funny because the elders used to always tell us, one day it's gonna be a blessing to get older. And I can't wait.
Hmm.
Like I found my first gray hair and I'm like, I can't wait till that shit start to spread. Like
Yeah.
I cut it one time to make it grow faster, but then I
Whoa,
realized,
wait. You wanted to grow. You want your gray hair to. You want to have gray hair? Is what you're saying?
bro, man, salt and pepper gonna turn me up.
You tripping?
Bro, salt and pepper gonna turn me up. Man, salt and pepper gonna turn me up, dog. It's gonna turn me. I can't wait.
Oh my
Bro,
gosh.
I went, listen, I don't like playing behind the eight ball. Like one
Mm.
thing that I do like doing, man, when I identify something that's coming along the pipeline, bro, I like to just go ahead and adjust. Now,
Hmm.
I don't like change. I'm not gonna lie. But if I see it coming and it's inevitable, I do have to I have to start mentally telling myself, prepare myself. Bro, like 30, I was 25, right? I had dreads and I was 25. I cut my hair and realized once my hairline started receding, I wasn't waiting until 30 to finally go bald. I was like, my 25th birthday, I'm gonna shave my head, I'm gonna start rocking the bald head, and by 30, it's just gonna be that's just a regular life. Some people hold on all those years, and right when they 30, they still be like, nah, I got a couple more years. Fuck
Mm.
no. Like I like to catch things, so I'm ready for the salt and pepper. Like It's gonna change.
Hey, listen, that's fantastic, man. That's, I think we should go back to a time where we do embrace, aging. I don't know why it's sort of a taboo to, you know, talk about getting older and wiser. I mean, that used to be a thing. It used to be embedded in our society to respect our elders, to appreciate and value their wisdom. But now it's like, I don't know. It's almost like a death sentence for women, at
About to
least. I
say that.
mean,
Like, I think we are now looking at, as you get older, you get closer to death.
yeah, your morbidity start to evaluate your morbidity, and think about your life. Just, I mean, it should just take on a whole new meaning almost. And I get it. We all evolve as human beings, and you start to evaluate and appreciate things as you age. But it's just sad how we just totally disregard our elderly, and just embracing aging in general. That's crazy.
Um, as the generations went on, we begin to have success guilt, and also our the generation before us, they have again started feeling so they are the ones who adopted the victim mentality. The generation before us made us really feel like, the early millenniums, and I tell people all the time, the millennium generation is
Oh, you better say it.
they're failing these
You
kids, man.
better you better say it. Well. Think about it, because the Generation X uh were the ones who raised the millennials.
Well, so check it. It's anywhere from I'd say 69, maybe 1970,
You gonna make me do it?
1970 to 1980, before the millenniums hit. That last batch of X's, those are the ones who really was just like, I'm not gonna, beat my kids, like, because they were the ones stressing how they got the extension cord and how they overly was beat.
Yeah,
So,
you, the
and it
the the
started
the the
falling into
baby bit.
the early millenniums, but that last batch of X's,
Yep.
they definitely shielded
Mm-hmm.
the early millenniums from a lot of things,
Right.
and they babied them, they coddled them, and they kept them from real life.
I'm telling you, man. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at this timeline that I composed, but what it shows is that the baby boomer generation is when it looks like the black unemployment rate was at 17% in 1948, and they were still children. The baby boomers, when the men came back from the war,
Mhm.
um, these baby boomers were still children during this time. 1950, men and women married at 23. Men married at 23, women married at 20. Um, but then you got 1950, the oral contraceptive pill is a medical innovation that has dramatically transformed generations. Women have gained incredible freedom and reproductive autonomy. And then from there, let's jump up 10 years. So they're going to be, the baby boomers would be 10 years old during like excuse me, they were born in 1950, whatever. Anyway, they'd be
Mhm.
like early 20s, 15 ish, just becoming an adult. And around like 19, what is it? 1960, okay, 1964. At present, 14% of Negro children are receiving food stamps, as only 2% of white children.
Mhm.
And then you see the out of wedlock birth rate starts to increase from 65% in 19 excuse me from 85% in 1960 to damn near, excuse me, the out of wedlock birth, what am I talking about? The marriage rate was at 85% in 1960, but 1968 it declined to like 21%, and out of wedlock birth started to shoot up drastically. So I say all that to say it was really the baby boomers who abandoned the tradition. They are the ones that instilled this programming. And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say it in women's minds, because the feminist movement and all this other things was going on. They indoctrinated these women to think that they can do as what men do. And ever since the women has fallen out of order, now I will hold the men of accountable of that day as well, because they shouldn't have allowed it to happen, but they did. So though that entire generation just screwed everything up, messed everything up. I blame 100% of where we at today on the baby boomer generation, because they abandoned tradition.
Um,
Straight up.
that was the start of it, right? However, baby boomers, X, and then millenniums. Millenniums, a lot of us for a long time had great grandparents, right? Then X
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
had their grandparents, and they caught at least their grandparent, their great grandparent being like 100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I say that to say this: grand great grandparents, which was the baby boomers, they was the start of the cycle. They were the trial phase of the cycle. However, though, it wasn't a significant amount of a number that made the impact. If you want to blame them, the blame it is the start of it, but the execution came literally X. And then
Okay. I hear what
and,
you're saying.
and X has handicapped and pampered millennials. Now,
Right. 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 Right.
when you get to X, X is the start of a lot of single mothers
Mm-hmm.
raising the kids.
Mm-hmm. Because
And
they were born, they were basically they were born with that hardwiring. They were
so,
born pre-genetically disposed to, and they saw what was modeled before them, because a lot of the baby bloomer marriages, some of them sustained it longer than what we see today, but a lot of them started to break down, and so they started to the X generation X. They didn't find any sort of value in marriage. They just like freak Nick. They the freak Nicks.
well, no, okay. X did do Freaknik. Don't get me wrong. They did, right? But again, a lot of them X with millenniums, you have a lot of millenniums to this day have stepfathers.
Mm.
Millenniums are the only generation that will take on stepfathers. This is the last
Yes, the
generation of
last generation. I agree.
this
I
is the
agree.
last generation of stepfathers
Mm-hmm.
because we had stepfathers,
Yep.
right? But our kids, again, with the music and what we're looking at right now, bro, it's not gonna happen because it's not gonna be any reproduction in the this next generation.
No, that's not true, Yoli. The feminist movement started way before the 70s. That was like the inception of the feminist movement was actually 19. Hold up, I got it right here. 1960. Here it is. Actually, it was prior to that. Actually, 1920. But the actual first wave or second wave, arguably, the second wave of feminism, which consisted of post colonial and existentialist ideologies, demands were national agenda, peace as women's rights, equality. There it is. There's that word. Um,
She at so what she just said though,
it was just the 1960s.
I
Go
said
ahead, man.
I said that going in the millenniums are the ones that started having stepfathers. But we
Yeah,
will
yeah,
last year because she said it because single mothers came prevalent in the 80s. The 80s, again, if you start having kids in the 80s, those were your millennium babies.
yeah,
Those
yeah,
are your millennium babies.
yeah.
So
The hippies, and the bra burning women were the sluts. They were the whores. I mean, they were out there just letting it all hang.
so but they're not that next generation is not gonna have kids. We will not. It's gonna and again, if we will either A, move our kids out of the United States, or B, get out of the actual big, cities that we're in, and we go somewhere to where culture and morals and culture is still prevalent, that's the only way that our kids will have kids for us to have grandkids. But if we stay where we're at right now in the way of the world, bro, the AI babies that's now the last few that's having kids right now, they are the AI babies. So the AI babies again, they are the ones they're not going to reproduce because they're going to start being able to have sex virtually. They're
Oh,
going
you better stop.
they're going
Why
to
would you
start,
say that?
bro, the VR, everything. If
I
you
don't
look
believe
around,
that.
if you start looking at, I forgot what's that movie on.
Wait a
It's,
second. You mean to tell me they're gonna develop some sort of mechanism where
you're
the
not,
guys, people can have sex virtually?
you will not have to leave your house. The trial phase
Oh
of keeping
snap!
people in the houses.
That's
Have
deep.
you ever seen, what is it on Netflix? Secret or something like that? What is that? What is that? The Netflix series that each episode
Thank you,
is a
Erica.
different storyline. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot what that series is. I was just watching the shit. It's either the black box or black something or secret or something like that. But anyway, it tells you episode by episode really of where we're going at. Like,
Hey, Supreme Emperor. I've just been out, man, handling some affairs, man. No need to get into it, but
we would
thanks for
the
coming.
pandemic was the trial phase of us being in the house. Pretty soon you will not have to leave to do anything.
Yeah,
You will put on that virtual headset and you will
that's
live your
insane.
life. You
You
will
know
live your
that
everyday life in
that
your
doesn't
house.
sound too far off, man. I mean, they're doing some transformational stuff with this VR technology, and not to mention they're integrating the Chat GPT in it to where now some of these programs, these little avatars in that virtual world, they can interact with you, which is crazy. So now it's like, and they can interact with you organically because the Chat GPT is just a cultivation, accumulation of just everything that human beings talk about. So they're going to integrate that into the virtual reality. And I can see how men, I mean, predominantly is going to be men because men are the ones who have a higher sex urge. They're going to be literally stuck to the damn VR system. And I hear what you're saying. I just can't. Do you think that's going to be the norm, though? You think that might become the norm? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Stop it, JP.
You will have no choice.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
You
Uh,
so so they're easily swayed, they're easily convinced, they're easily manipulated, they follow trends. Bro, anytime if you can stroll down any of your social media sites right now, as soon as one black cultural challenge hit the internet, everybody start doing it immediately. They start posting it, they hashtag the challenge, they immediately share it immediately. We are so easily we are so easy to get away from paying attention to what our purpose is and where it's supposed to go. Because anything that can distract us like that, it shows how much you really don't want to be disciplined. If
yeah.
that small thing can stop you, you never wanted to be disciplined anyway. Before you know it, I did a trial these last few days on myself. And I've realized why I don't get caught up in social media and TV a lot. Because, bro, that shit will have you consumed for hours and hours and hours. Bro,
An
I did one,
entire day.
bro. I was laying down a couple days, these past few starting last week or the week before last, like just laying in the bed. I
Mm-hmm.
go to my reels. I go to one reel. I
Yep.
start watching that, and then I just keep strolling up.
Keep strolling.
Keep
Yep.
strolling up. Bro, when I tell
But
you
yeah.
it is something, oh, it does not miss a bro, you will
Yep.
never not have a reel to watch.
Yeah. And the algorithm is designed like that to keep you drawn in and just keep you compelled to stay on the phone for hours. I know what you're saying, man, because man, like when I was telling you earlier how addictive TikTok is, I said that stuff is just like, oh my God, that's like poison because I could get on TikTok and I'm like, okay, let me see if I can find some content. Maybe I can, take a few videos, whatever. And next thing you know, 5 hours then went by. Yeah, I didn't got some videos, some good stuff, but I'm like, how did I just spend an entire day?
Bro,
How did I do that?
the time, your
That's scary.
24 hours can
That's
slip through your
insane.
fingers so fast these days, right?
Yep.
It can slip past you so fast these days, bro. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And even after that, the real thing, right? I said, you know what? I wanted to try a Netflix series, Suits, right? I started with The Lincoln Lawyer. That only had 2 seasons. It was pretty good. I finished it and I was like, damn, I'm so drawn in. I'm blowed that that is over with. But I'm looking at how fast I watched it and how much time I gave it because it's so interesting. So I finished The Lincoln Lawyer 2 seasons within I stretched it. I was doing one episode per night. And then when I said I wanted to binge watch it, I finished the whole season in a day and a day, right?
how many?
But
How
it
many?
was only
Wait,
two
wait.
seasons. But
How many episodes? How many episodes per season?
10,
Okay, that's
right?
not too bad. Wait, wait,
Two
wait, 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 wait. How long were each episode?
52 minutes or to an hour.
Dang.
52 minutes to an hour,
So
right?
how many hours is that?
Bro, a lot, right? So check it. I just started Suits. I needed something, and I seen some people on Facebook talking about it, right? And it aligns with Lincoln Lawyer. I enjoyed Lincoln Lawyer. People were saying Suits was giving it a run for its money. I say, bet, let me get on it. I looked at it. It's 6 seasons, Neil. 6, right? It started in 2019, 6 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Each season got 12 to 16 episodes,
Mm,
42 minutes apart. I
mm.
started that bitch. I started that bitch maybe last Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
Binge
se-
watching.
Season 4.
You on season 4?
Season 4, dog.
Dang, 12 episodes per season.
12 episodes per season. Bro,
Wow, that's nuts.
I have not, bro. Let me tell you, you've been able to catch me, right? When you text me or call me, right? Especially when you text me, right? You've been able to catch me because for a week now, I have not went to bed no earlier than 10:30. And that's not that, I go to bed at 8 o'clock, bro.
Mm-hmm.
For a week, I've been doing that shit. And I've been doing that study on myself and realizing how addicting that shit is, how you can throw your nights and your days away so quickly with
Mm-hmm.
not being productive. And they
Not be
got us with
productive.
this algorithm trance, bro, that I'm like, fuck. Now I'm gonna finish this bitch.
Yeah, you too
I
deep.
got
You
this
way
shit.
too deep in now. You got to
I'm
finish
way
it.
too deep in, like, and I'm interested in this shit. So I
Mm-hmm.
got to see it through, my boy. That's the problem with a man. When he
Yeah,
know he got
yeah.
to get out, he still got to see his way through, my boy. And I
Mm-hmm.
got to.
Right.
However, it did prove a point to me. It did prove a point. But we are definitely, bro, going to be controlled. They thought COVID was the vaccine was chipping people. Now what happened was it
All
was
right, hold on,
COVID.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Before you shift to there, because I know that's about to open up a whole new can of worms. Let me acknowledge the chat real quick. Deborah says generations have been programmed on different levels. You can learn more about that through the history of the Tavistock Institute. I heard about that, Deborah. I actually heard about that. If you got some information on that, send that my way via Instagram. Erica says, "Hey, hello, Neil. I can't stay long, but glad to see you back on. Thank you, baby girl. I appreciate you. I appreciate you." Gina says, I have 3 millennial kids and they work hard and they think this crap is going on now is a bunch of BS. They also have raised their kids and are still with their moms and dads. Well, that's good. That's good. That's really good. Um, he is actually, Deborah says, he is actually right to a certain extent, Neil. Okay, well, having Supreme Emperor Kiza says having sex virtually sounds like the Demolition Man right there. Did that happen in that movie?
I've
I don't
never seen
remember. Um, Uh, Yoli says these babies are brighter than you all think. I hope and pray you're wrong, but children, particularly girls, are very driven. Hope sons wake up and step up. Well, they're emasculating men. Society, there's an attack, there's an assault on
Man,
masculinity. So
definitely not
a lot of
themselves.
these men don't really have much to aspire to. You know, it's not like that once they are accomplished and competent and have all their stuff together, that there's a beautiful, pure, chaste woman waiting there at the end of the road. That's you know, that's not the status quo of today, unfortunately. So a lot of men are not motivated because I mean, we're here to reproduce, and you don't really have family. Families are the building blocks of every community, and families is what every society needs. And unfortunately, there's an assault on uh, family, the institution of family, marriage, and masculinity. And that's why feminism has had a hell of an impact on the way the modern woman thinks of regard men, and how tradition just kind of gone astray. I'm just gonna say there. Where we at? Deborah says society has lost focus on real priorities. I agree. Yona, what up, Jess? How you doing, darling? Hey, Jess, let me know if you want to get on. I know you said you're not feeling too well, but if you want to jump on, let me know. Jan says, I am late as usual. Watch from the beginning later. No, you're good, Jan. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're right on time. All right, my bad, JP. Continue, my brother. You okay? So we were talking about the COVID. I know you heard about this variant. You think it's a thing, or you think it's just some crap that they're about to just try to weaponize?
I mean, dog, the flu never went nowhere.
The flu never went anywhere. That's interesting choice of words.
The flu never went nowhere. I mean, like, we've been getting the flu. We've been getting sick. We get sick around the same time each year. Why is this such a why does the government gotta slap a name on it, bro, to start scaring you?
He
Bro,
said
we
slap
been,
a
we been
name
hitting
on
the flu for the longest. Like,
it.
bro, you telling me everything that they told us to overly do, you do know that is what you supposed to do. People just have not been doing it. So the scare made you overly do it to get yourself uncomfortable with doing it at all.
Mm.
Hand sanitizer, washing your hands, covering up your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basic hygiene.
Basic hygiene, bro.
Right.
We started to realize how dirty and nasty people are.
Yeah.
But you if you sat back and paid attention and stopped panicking, you would start to realize, bro, like I do that all the time. I do that all the time. But now you got people walking with hand sanitizer all the
Mm-hmm.
time. You should have been
Mm-hmm.
doing that.
Fear mongering. Yep, they're fear mongering, and people are so susceptible to the fear mongering. It's not even. They already did the trial run. They already ran the experiment to see if people was going to comply, and they did. A lot of us just complied like feeble, lost sheep. And granted, there was a concerted effort to suppress the free speech. You couldn't talk about it. People certainly made a lot of efforts into quashing any debate, any real discourse about the matter. And the science was all freaking. It was vague. It wasn't really clear. It wasn't clear, so nobody could really, you know, fall back on any sort of reliable scientific basis as to where what was being pushed through the media. Um, but I will say that if they talk about putting, instituting a mandate for people to wear masks again, oh
Um,
man, bro,
nah, but you know
I'm
what?
I'm gonna lose
It's
my
a lot of
mind.
it's a
I'm gonna
lot of
lose it.
folks, but it's gonna be a lot of folks this go around bucking that system.
You said people are gonna do what?
They're gonna be bucking that. A lot of people have woken up. Like
I
there is
mean, I hope the libs at least. I hope
it,
the liberals
it,
and the leftists are
it's a
pissed off
lot
about
of
that.
bro, and I've learned a lot of how the dynamic is shifting from Donald Trump being arrested, shifted life. I promise you, I was just telling
Uh
somebody.
oh.
I was just telling somebody earlier today, bro. When Donald Trump got arrested, bro, let me tell you,
Mm, 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 mm.
this will be the one time that is going to be so funny that this will be the first thing of watching Donald Trump beat these charges and be the first time that this is the thing that blacks come together to because this is some shit that they like. If they pull this off,
He's stupid.
this will be the first time that blacks have ever came together for a cause. And you know the crazy thing about this cause is it's stupid.
It's really stupid.
But the libs started this by glorifying you ain't nothing, or you have no, if you have no clout unless you've been to jail to talk about it. They just put
Wait.
they put they
Wait.
have put your former
Uh-uh.
president. This
Uh-uh.
mugshot has hit black internet, dog, and it has sent him over the top.
Wait a second. Okay, so I didn't know that. You mean to tell me that black people are they're supporting in support of Donald Trump now that he's been arrested and locked up? Well,
Bro,
he ain't been technically locked up, but he was
but
arrested.
look, what can that black people love finding things that you can connect with. They love wanting to bring some white dude to the cookout. We don't mind. We don't mind. We don't mind, dog.
Oh my
That's
god.
the crazy thing about it, bro. Donald Trump never did anything to us, bro. That's
Let,
the crazy shit about it.
let me acknowledge the chat real quick. We got a couple of them coming in. Hey guys, if you're just getting in, like the video. JP is on here blowing my mind right now, per usual. Let me acknowledge. So Jess, Yana. Let me make. Am I saying that right, Jess? Yona. They're coming for us again. Believe that. Just then follows up with the WHO has a 10-year plan of pandemics. COVID was the first year. That sounds about true to me. I just sent you a message. Okay, I appreciate that, Deborah. Um, Gina says, I agree about the flu. All of a sudden it took a vaccination. Um, all of a sudden it took a vacation, excuse me. I think they just said the flu was COVID. Now the flu is back. Well, it
They're
was. Let's see if it takes another vacation again.
they're going to have to
I'm
lock.
picking up what you're putting down, Gina. Deborah says fear tactic is part of programming. We'll see how it works. Yeah. Jess says, does no one remember Bill Gates talking about how the next pandemic will get everyone's attention with the evil smirk of his? Yeah, I remember that. I saw that video. He definitely had that grimacing, conniving, maniacal look on his face. Gina says, I don't believe every single sickness was COVID. Yeah, right. Um, this is all heading towards the beast system. Absolutely. For all those Christians out there, yeah, who, if you profess to be a Christian and Christ follower, you better wake up. Deborah, I have pushed on every platform not to comply. Wait, I have pushed on every. They need to know constitutional rights and HIPAA rights and stop living in fear. Stand up, otherwise they win. And human race's history. Yeah, real talk.
So so okay, Deborah's right. But I mean, let's just keep addressing the elephant in the room. It's I mean, the target is
Ooh, ooh. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
the
ahead, Deborah.
only
That's a good point.
the target is the uninformed, and most of the uninformed is the lower class, well, the black community. So let's just be honest. That is
Yeah,
the
but the
most
black community are like they're like the fountainhead of degeneracy. And I'm not saying all, but most. Like we are the frontliners in leading towards the path of destruction. And a lot of these other cultures, like the Mexicans and even Caucasians, they're the younger generation are emulating that degeneracy. They're emulating it because they think it's like it's cool. It's cool to be a rebel or an
let's
anarchist.
let's go back to the baby boomer thing that what was her name?
Deborah.
No, the one that came and told you that it wasn't, it was way after the 70s, it was the 80s, that was it was not Yona, it was the one
That might have
Yo-
been
Yola or something like that. Okay, let's go back to the baby boomers, right? The baby boomers and Generation X, right now are the reason why there is no movement going on mentally within the millenniums and the Generation Z, because again, Generation X coddled the millenniums. The millenniums are
Mm-hmm.
still in a childish mindset. Their maturity level has not reached their age
Mm-mm.
because we have not went through as much as social media
Stunted the
makes
growth.
it feel.
Yeah.
They have stunted our growth, and we have been so dependent on that generation. Now your give back to being so indebted to them is what they are still in that victim mentality. They didn't get as much as they got that they wanted in their youth. They're living their lives and what their wants through us. Listen to what the libs push of the thing that I've never seen a side of a political side beg so much. There
Big.
are some begging
Yep.
ass individuals
No self,
that
no,
beg
yeah. Yep.
so damn much, dog. I've never seen
The
somebody that
shrieking infants, just
nothing
shrieking,
is ever
crying infants.
enough.
Yeah.
I've nothing is ever. It's more.
And
Give
they're
me.
so delicate and so sensitive. You can't. That's why the truth is such an assault, and that's why they're trying to weaponize free speech to where it's is if you tell the unvarnished truth, it's tantamount to committing a physical violence against somebody. They're trying to they're trying to shift the language to where that's why you can't say anything anymore about it. You got to
We,
literally coddle
we gotta
and
get off.
augment the way you speak. Yeah.
We gotta get off of keep bringing up the slavery and the oppression, bro. It ain't no millenniums went through oppression. It ain't no Generation X went through no
Never.
oppression. But boomers was pushing what the boomers was trying to teach X. X took that and balled it up into victim mentality, and they fed and taught us victim mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Boomers said, work hard, do this. This is how you get. Yes, they held us down, but if you continue to be, if you steadfast, stay down, and you work hard, you get it. They
Yeah,
they
that's it.
had
Yeah, yeah.
X had work mentality, but what they did was take that the parents or the ones before them that got held back, and that is how they hooked on to victim mentality. Well,
Mm-hmm.
my mom and them went through this, and this is what they did. So they passed that slave mentality. So when and millenniums are the new millennium, the later millenniums are lazy. They don't want to read, they don't want to research. They
Mm-mm.
don't the later generation millenniums, some of them have older siblings that was not 89. They have if they're 25 right now, they have an older sibling that's 34, 35. They may have four other brothers and sisters. They're the baby. Anybody that's born 95, 93, they usually have older siblings. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So those are usually the babies that they really got coddled. Your mama, you got an older mama, older daddy that went through a trial phase of three other kids that they tried things that didn't work, that did work. They just said, you know what, I went through all of that. I know exactly what to do now. I know all the mistakes I made with them. I'm going to make sure we clean up everything with you. And there's
Mm-hmm.
no accountability with
Yep.
that. That
I
was
agree.
that one skates by the wayside. So
Mm-hmm.
but what happens is they're still indebted to the old folk. They're still indebted to their mom and their dad. So everything that generation is complaining about, the libs are also using social media trends, popularity, and fame to attach that wagon to that. And what our later millenniums and early generation Z's are hooked on technology.
Yep.
That
Yep.
hooked on
Yep.
trends. Everything that's
Mm-hmm.
cool, clout. So they hitch on that. So now they just throw any lib out there and make them look cool, make
Mm-hmm.
them look trendy, make them look like everybody follow. Bro, the new
Mm-hmm.
generation, they look at you about your likes and
Mm-hmm.
your views for before they even take you whatever that you say. as any to stand on.
Yeah.
How many followers he got before I is saying that, bro?
Mhm.
You that is what they look for. How many likes you got on your profile?
No, I absolutely totally agree. I absolutely totally agree. I think that generation X, I can't look. I'm not going to solely place the blame on one generation over another. I'm just going to simply say that it's incumbent upon all of us to recognize that where we are today in our society either has to make a drastic shift from degeneracy to some form of morality and integrate some sort of social fabric and rebuild our social institutions that can combat all of this, or we just take our hands off the wheel and just let it go downhill. Like there needs to be some sort of shift, and the only viable path I see is just a great separation. I see a great separation occurring, and I see there's going to be a vast majority of lost, sycophantic, hyper dependent, weak individuals that's going to want to be part of a group, part of a whole, and it doesn't matter what it represents. It's just they want to be part of what's going on, and they start adopting these pseudo moralistic stances to try to invigorate their lives and give themselves some purpose, but all the while not even realizing that our society is decadently being destroyed from within because we lack any sort of moral fiber or any moral foundation. And look, let's just be honest. Our Constitution was founded on the Ten Commandments, was founded on the Judeo-Christian values. And believe whatever you want to believe today. You absolutely have that right. But I tell you one thing: there was a time and place where America subscribed to that notion, to the ideal that this country was founded upon, and we were making some tremendous strides. We didn't have to prop up a leader. We didn't have to, you know, follow behind some rhetoric. Everyone did their own thing. Men were men, women were women, and families were there, were intact, and because we all subscribe to an idea, to what this country represented for each and every one of us. But now everyone's abandoned that. We don't have anything that cohesive glue to hold us together anymore. Now it's just everybody's atomized, separated, doing their own thing. I believe that. I believe this. I do this. I do that. America ain't that. The blacks don't even want to call themselves Americans. They don't even want to call themselves Americans. They don't want to be referred to as an American. You're an American. No, I'm an African. It's like, what are you talking about? Where else would you want to be at right now in this particular dispensation of time in history?
Because you can't go anywhere else, because you go there, you're not respected. So you're bound to the United States. You are like you can't go back to Africa. You can't any other country, dog. Like as an American, you are a laughing stock. You are not respected. You're weak. You ran over. You don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to stand tall.
Yeah.
You will fold. That's just what America is right now. Is complaining, whining, bitching, complain. You know what I'm saying? It's all that. So you even got. It's so crazy because how they set it up. I've never watched one side of a political aisle just sabotage a whole sinking ship, because I want to tell people who follow liberal followings. Um, the liberals are doing this strategically, all because they realize that the minority was going to eventually begin to be the majority.
Mm-hmm.
So if they sink the
Yeah, to
ship,
capitalize. Yeah.
if they sink the ship, the majority gets stuck with the bag.
Yeah.
So it looks like the
Yep.
majority. That's why you see so many of the majority, which is the black faces, in the front of the room now. So
Mm-hmm.
as it's crumbling, it's looked at as the black can't run shit. But it's also, in the other hand, is true,
Mm-hmm.
because look at what you're building on that you allowed them to push up on you. Like Obama ran this country off of, again, just being smooth, being cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like everybody like, oh man, he played the flute. He was the Pied Piper for 8 years.
The Pied Piper, yeah.
He rocked us, and you know why I mean that, because you know who the Pied Piper is if you caught that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I do.
but you know,
Definitely.
he rocked everybody to sleep for 8 years. He could not say anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that was blocked,
Entranced.
it was because he was black.
He was deified, like Martin Luther,
And
like they do with Martin Luther King, man. They deify him, make
you
him
know what
into
I'm saying?
gods.
But the thing about it was, he was just a face that, again, was just to get our community guard down. That's all it was.
Yeah,
But
but hold up.
he,
Let me acknowledge the chat real quick. Okay, Jess says they will eventually win, prophecy unfolding in front of our eyes, but people want to be like an ostrich with their heads in the sand. Real talk, Jess. Real talk. Um, Jess says we are one generation. We're one generation from losing our freedom. Totally
oh yeah,
agree.
oh
Probably
yeah.
shorter than that, to be honest.
Nah,
Um,
the AIs is gonna voluntarily put us back into is gonna go back into slavery voluntarily.
they brainwash us into thinking we are victims. Absolutely. She says cognitive dissonance. Deborah says they feel entitled. Yeah. Yeah, entitled. Absolutely. That entitlement, that sense of entitlement, man. It's like being mollycoddled from since birth. And now, life doesn't operate, reality doesn't align with their feelings, and they pitch a fit, throw tantrums. Deborah says, no one is entitled. We all have to work for what we want. Absolutely. None of us are special. We all have to work for our, um, what is the scripture? If you don't work, you don't eat. Just says they cry and get whatever they want. Right. Just throw tantrums. That's all they can do. Men and women's sports, women bathrooms, kids allowed to identify as cats and shit in the litter box at school. I know, I heard about that. Uh-oh. Jess says, I agree, but it won't though. The end goal is control of all people under one rule. Yep. We are witnessing the plan breakdown of society to accomplish that. Real talk, Jess. Um, Not saying we should give up. We're headed to George Orwell's 1984. I just read that, man. That's a really good book. Dion said African American, right? Kamisha said that part. Agreed. Even Martin Luther King had his downfalls. Listen, man, we're gonna have a whole stream about Martin Luther King because I think we all got it wrong with him. I think Martin Luther King was a little bit more deceptive than Obama, to be honest. But we'll get into that.
He was the first one.
Huh?
He was the first one.
Yeah, he was the very first. He was the progenitor of this whole oppression
But
narrative.
granted, not granted, Martin tried to right his wrong, but it was too late.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to
He
send me
tried to
that.
right his wrong.
You're gonna have
He
to send
tried
me
to right
that.
his
You're gonna have to send me that info because
He
I don't
tried
know
to
where
right his wrong. He tried to
Martin
right.
Luther King didn't even accept Christ, y'all. Just so y'all know, and
He
we're gonna
tried
talk
to right
about
his
this.
wrong. He
He
tried to
was
right his wrong. Right before it
MLK
happened.
was a charlatan if you never saw one,
Right before it
the
happened.
biggest one.
He
And
and
it's
he
crazy because we all
Martin
remember the Martin Luther
Martin
King
was not,
speeches and
but Martin was not in cahoots to know exactly what he was doing.
man,
Like
no, bro,
nobody did.
that's not true. JP, sorry, that's not true.
So listen,
Martin
listen,
knew
listen, listen, listen,
exactly what he was doing.
listen. He
He
did
knew
not lead. He did
exactly what
not
he was doing.
purposely, like Obama did. He did not
Yeah,
purposely lead.
no. He
He
did. He did. I
capitalized
have the
off
proof.
of. So check it, like Steve
You mean
Harvey.
to tell me he didn't
Check it like
deliberately know
Steve
what he was
Harvey,
doing?
and Derek Jackson.
Oh
He
God.
seen a group and knew what to do, and those were your targeted audience, and you hooked them. You hooked them on it,
MLK was openly
and he
rejected by the
capitalized off
church
of.
in the South. He could not even get his narrative, this oppression narrative, off in the South. They they utterly rejected him because they knew what he was about. They knew what he was trying to do.
Martin just wanted bitches.
He was this. Oh my god! No, it's deeper than that, man. He was a communist.
Martin
Martin
like
Luther King was a
Martin loved
communist
white
Marxist.
girls too.
He
He
wanted to
loved
socially
white
engineer,
girls.
man. I'm
He
telling you,
loved women,
he
dog.
was a mover and a shaker. I'm
Martin
trying to tell you.
loved power.
Thank you, Jess. He was a wolf in sheep's clothing.
He
See,
loved
that's what I'm saying. See, even JP, as smart and as intuitive and as intelligent this man is, he still cannot accept the truth that Martin Luther King led us astray.
I'm not
And he
disagreeing.
knew it. Hold
I'm
up,
not
no, but no,
I'm
we disagree.
agreeing with
No,
you.
no, we agree with that part, but
I'm agreeing with you.
we disagree with whether or not he intentionally knew it. He knew it. He was aware. He was conscious. He knew exactly what he was doing. And I got the proof. We're gonna talk about it because I'm gonna send it to your ass, and you're gonna read it for yourself. All in his biography, autobiography. He knew
He did.
that boy knew
I,
and he was a lot more
not
deceptive and
not
more cunning than
from
Obama could
beginning
ever dream
from
of.
beginning to end. No, what happened was again when he started getting caught into everything and the benefits behind that started coming, it woke him up. But the thing about it is, as a spiritual man that he was portraying, no matter what,
Portraying.
only you for so long can lie on God
Mm.
before it all come back
Before it
and
all
it bite
comes
you in that
down.
ass. But but when you portray to know God, he will start to definitely reveal himself to you. And as time started going on towards the end of life, the real spirit of
Booker
God.
T, Booker T, Booker T. Martin, Booker T. Washington preached a message of self-reliance, hard work. Tie your bootstraps up, pull your pants up, act like a man. He taught a generation of grit and hard work. Martin Luther King came along and shattered that entire spirit. He came along and started to promulgate this message of victimhood, this message of oppression, this message of almost equality. I totally disagree with the notion that we should have had forced integration. I think we should have ended desegregation, but I think that we should not have forced integration. We shouldn't have forced because think about it.
You
If
had to
I
have
gotta force you, if I come to you and give you a hug and I gotta force you, well, the state, the government forces you to hug me back, that's not genuine.
integration. Martin like white girls. You had to have that. Bro, Martin liked white girls. He had that's one thing he had to make go through. He liked white girls.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you,
liked
Jess. It would
white
have happened on
girls.
his
That's
own.
one thing that he did.
He stuck on that.
That was top of the line that I can drink from. Let me tell you, all these years we fought for that white only pie to finally get that white only pie and find out that
The
shit
white only pie.
that and to find out that that's disgusting pie was the only one that was that was the
How about I
only,
make you some nigga pies?
and now you like, damn, this shit don't taste. We fought all that time to be like, damn, it don't taste all that good. And you can't undo it now. You can't undo it now. When you should have just sat the fuck down.
So
But again,
Martin liked the white and he knew it was right.
listen, man. I'm
Listen,
talking
I don't know
about
nothing about it. I don't know nothing about it. But listen, I want to talk back more about this whole. Well, I don't want to talk about that because
what?
God knows the Matrix has shut me down. So I was going to talk about the
Oh, you still,
variant, but let's shift it over to Trump. Now we see he's in all these legal problems. We understand that. I was talking to my friend today, and he brought up an interesting point, an interesting theory, and I was just like, that may have some credence to it. It may kind of make some sense, and I want to hear your perspective. He told me, Trump should pull out the race, pull out from running as president, and act as the George Soros of the Republican Party, like run stuff in the background. What do you think about that?
they won't allow him to. If he does that,
Mm,
Trump has to be that man in that power position for them to bow. because they're not going to the Republican Party. They're still jealous of Trump being able to come through and get some movement done to doing the things that they could not do. They are still, even his own party envies him now. His own party envies. So he's not going to be able to sit back and say, I matter of fact, did we not talk about that? And you said I was crazy with you and what was that other live we was on together? I
What?
said that. I said it was me, you, and Bloom. I said Trump should be vice or he should be in the background, and y'all laughed at me when I said that. Y'all
Wait,
laughed
I
at me
don't
when I
know. I
said
don't
that.
know. I don't
I've
know. I don't
been
know. I
said
don't
that.
know. I don't know
I've
if you
been
said
said
that.
that. You said no, Trump has to be in control. I said, bro, if he sit back and he just let everybody, but y'all just work off him.
All right.
Y'all,
Well, if I laughed at you,
y'all
if
killed
I
me for
laughed at you, I apologize. All
that. Y'all
right. I
killed me for that.
absolutely, positively apologize for my
But
callous.
I have to tell you, y'all were right. Y'all are fucking right. It's no way. It's no fucking way that he can do it. It's
No,
no
no,
way.
no, 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 no. Come on now. Wait a second.
No way.
Listen, we already both know. We already both know. We're just speaking idealistically. We already know that that's not going to happen because Trump has too big of an ego to even consider pulling out of the race. He's not going to do that. I mean, come on.
Especially not after everything they just did to him now.
Right.
Bro.
He's got now.
He
He's
got
got something to prove, which is understandable. I mean, think about it. He's got the hegemony, the state, everyone against him, everyone. And the more they come after him, the more invigorated his base are, and uh 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 the more support that he honestly starts to receive. But I just think that I don't think that it's smart. I don't think it's wise for Trump to beef with DeSantis. I don't think it's wise for them. He should be more of an ally than they are adversaries. They should work together, to be honest. You don't think so?
I said all. I told y'all. I said DeSantis should be president. Trump should be vice. I fucking said that, dog. I fucking said. Here you go with this shit. So check it. This is why it's not gonna work. DeSantis has now proven and shown himself. The only reason why he runs Florida so fluent, if it goes back to what I just said about anybody, the adults that have things that is structured in a certain narrow way, and if it alters any other way, they start to rattle. That debate showed you. Now DeSantis has to have everything that goes his way. He has to have everything set up perfectly for his confidence level to be up to par for him to get things done. So a state
Well, wait
alone,
a second. DeSantis has gotten things done in his state, though.
but a state is his speed. When you talk about the United States of America, it's more of a bigger pond, and not everybody's on his side. That one state is on his side to where he gets to do what he wants to do, how he wants to do it, and it flourishes. But the United States, this platform of president, is breaking him apart. And it's showing him he can't stand, he's not ready to stand up. It is proven that he is planted there by the establishment to just be able to take down the.
Whoa, 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 whoa! You can't make that claim without substantiating that. How is it proven that he's a plant?
He okay. Let me back up the plant then, because you're gonna lose your fucking cool.
I'm not.
Let me back it up then. Let me rewind it. All right. He is the establishment. The establishment runs DeSantis. He is now going to be, he took everything from Trump. He was the one to come in great value, Donald Trump. Walk like I'm taller. Take a lot of things from Donald Trump, but I'm not Donald Trump. Right. But the establishment will love DeSantis because running in Florida, he said all the right things because, again, that small population, DeSantis is going to be easily swayed by the establishment to get what they want. Watching the debate, when Vivek, when they asked about who would still endorse Donald Trump, Vivek immediately raised his hands. Everybody else Went up after
Because we
that.
all know that
But
Vivek
hold
is
on.
not running.
DeSantis was the one that looked left, looked right, and then just did like this. Now, again,
I mean, that's because they are currently in a contentious
but
battle between each
DeSantis
other, right?
knows. DeSantis knows he needs the table set for him. He don't know how to go out there and get it like Vivek does and like Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, if anyone's a plant, Vivek is. I don't like that
And
guy.
that's
I
fine.
don't
And
like
that's
him.
and
I
that's
don't like nothing
fine.
about him.
And that's fine. And
But
that's
but I
fine.
will say he is an avid supporter of Trump, and I honestly I don't even I think I think this whole entire bid for him running for presidency, I think Vivek just did that to get his
They
name out
need,
there.
they
He
need,
did that for
they
notoriety.
they need a lot to come out. They are throwing a lot of people out there because they need to throw the Trump train down. So you looking at DeSantis because DeSantis had no reason to go to run for president. He has no reason. Donald Trump is eligible for 4 more years. Why do you want to take that? Why? Right now, you should be letting Donald go do 4. You got a full possibility of 8 coming behind Trump. Why now? Why now?
I agree with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Why
Maybe
now?
he just wanted. Maybe he figured America was just tired of all of the rigmarole. Maybe he's talked to his constituents, and a lot of them are just tired of just the monkey show
The
with
problem
the
is this.
Democrats and the
The problem is
Republicans and Trump not able to do anything because he's constricted. Maybe he just looked at all that and said, you know what, maybe it's time for a new change, and let me just throw my towel out there.
and that's a mistake because this is why. This is the LeBron James effect. You can be the star player of any one of your teams. You can be notarized on all NBA, all whatever on your separate teams. But the day that you decide to leave your team and you begin to play alongside LeBron James, when his skill level separates you so far, you are criticized and not forgiven anymore. If DeSantis continues this route, it will be unforgiving how bad Trump beats him across the head. That this world right now is unforgiving, and the last stench that they will remember is how Donald Trump wiped the floor with him, and he was not prepared and ready when he should have just sat the fuck down and been patient and waited. If he gets spanked and Donald Trump gets these 4 years, we have no more bullets in the chamber. These 4 years will fly the fuck by, and that is the last you got of Donald. And if they would allow Donald to get the extra 4 instead of Biden, Donald was going to show everybody that hey, there's a possibility that I can get a 3rd term. And that 3rd term would have been the exit plan of him being too old to be president. But Donald can't do 4 more and still be greedy and say, hey guys, I still got that plan about that 3rd term. He's going to be too old by then.
Yeah.
He's going to be too old by then.
Yeah.
So DeSantis was supposed to sit back, either begin to be on the ticket for the VP, take that, and
Well,
you
I
build
mean,
off of that.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree that he shouldn't have. I mean, I just think it all kind of fragments the entire Republican GOP. Like, I think it just kind of fractures everyone. It should be, we should all be consolidating on one candidate and so putting our support behind that. Which ideally, I would want it to be Trump. And Jess, I hear what you're saying. I know Trump is probably more than likely, somehow another part of the whole scheme. He could be. I'm not going to discount that, but just for the greater of both evils, I think that we should have consolidated on Trump, and DeSantis should fall back. But I think DeSantis realized all of the legal troubles that Trump has gotten himself into, and there has to be some sort of recourse, some fall guy, somebody to pick up the mantle and carry it on and beat to the drum, because I don't know, man. Look, I
But
know a lot of
for
these.
him to
I know
hold
all of
him,
these cases. I know all of these indictments. I think they're all just. It's all just a farce.
semantics.
I
It's
totally
fun.
understand that.
It's
It's
fun.
all, yeah, exactly. It's just weaponizing the legal system. Of
It's
course,
fun.
I get that. They're all crap. They're baseless. But we can't ignore the fact that they're there. They are
So
there.
let's go back to what I said. For him to still say, because this is not an ego thing. This is not a pride thing of saying, I'm here now. I got to see it through, my boy. This is bigger than that. For him to still go through with this and knowing who DeSantis is, knowing the laws he's implemented, the system that he's created down there in Florida, for him to be as smart as he is to know that this is baseless, but he still follows through with this and going diving head first. That means he knows something that he has, and like you said, somebody has to fall on the mantle. That's not true because it's so baseless. But for him to still know that there's a slight chance, there is a chance, that means the establishment has been telling them, guys,
Yeah.
we have to find a way
Yep.
to keep him off the ticket. So we're going to make him fall for this. Because
Yep.
the only way that you either got to kill Trump or put him in jail.
Mm-hmm.
What's the easiest thing right now?
That's why. That's why.
At
That's
a short
yeah.
term part, because you can't kill him.
That's
The
why they're
day that
slinging.
Donald Trump dies
Yeah.
of assassination or randomly dies, and within the next 8 years, the world will go in uproar. And I'm talking about you will have other countries coming through this bitch in an uproar too.
Yeah. That's why they're just the establishment is just slinging mud at the wall to see what sticks at Trump, because Trump is just
And it's DeSantis because he came out swinging on Trump. For what reason?
he
But
came out swinging on Trump because I mean, I just think that's I don't know. I think that's just kind of like
and when
political.
Donald locked in, he locked in and didn't let go. So then everybody was like, Donald need to stop worrying about him. I thought about that and I was like, yeah, Donald. But then I started looking at what DeSantis was doing. And again, a lot of them, I think as a team, bro, when you got a hot hand, the player is gonna go, like, you start backing that player and you start pushing those chips to the front instead of still trying to compete, because the Republican Party right now is so stupid. They're falling into the liberal way, trying to beat liberals at being liberals
Yeah,
by,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
backbiting, arguing. And it's like, how can you beat you? It's no honor amongst thieves. How can you become a thief and think you're gonna steal from a
Mm-hmm.
bigger thief when you
Mm-hmm.
never was a thief before?
Right, right. Yep, yep.
Just
But
because they're
they
saying
try
you
to but they still what frustrates me is that they still try to give off the veneer as if they're trying to follow. They're the ones that's following the rules, and it's like, no, you guys are. And like Jess said, and that's why I said, you know, Republican Democrats today. A lot of them, I'm gonna say the rhinos, the Republicans in name only, are just really two wings from the same bird. They're all in cahoots, working together behind the scenes, and we all know this. This is not new stuff. I'm telling y'all. I mean, if y'all don't get that baseline, then just put it on the shelf, okay? Just put it on the shelf and revisit it later. But we all know this.
but one side is full of indoctrination. So
Yes, once, yes,
that's already X'd out in my video. So that's already
yeah.
X'd out in my book. So
Mhm.
whether it's two wings from the same bird,
The
I can't
rhinos are no different than the dang on libs. They're just as bad.
I can't get down with it. One thing about it, and the Democrats have been definitely pissing in the black community face. Like, I'm talking about straight off of what I told you last time, like straight out a fresh celebration off a promotion or a big deal being signed, fresh out champagne, that type of piss, a drunk pee, like all over the face, because the biggest concentration camps right now in the black community is HBCUs and the Christian Baptist Church.
Hmm.
Those are the biggest indoctrination concentration camps.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
they
Whoa.
continue
You said
every
HBCUs and the Christian what?
the Baptist
Oh, the
Church,
Baptist. Oh
Christianity Church,
yeah,
the
yeah,
two
yeah, yeah,
biggest
yeah, yeah, yeah.
indoctrination concentration
And
camps.
if you're not enraptured by their feel good rhetoric or their what is it? There, if you're not caught up in their indoctrination, what it does is it will then repel you from even ever wanting to seek God, because that has been burned into your mind what the representation of what God is supposed to be is what they're pushing today. And so a lot of people get repelled by that or repulsed by that. Like, no, I don't want to be I'm not a Christian. I'm spiritual. I'm spiritual. And it's like,
Well,
no, seriously,
they
seriously.
always say as Christians, you're not supposed to judge people.
Well, no, you're supposed to judge people by their fruits, judge them by their actions.
I mean,
You don't judge the person, you judge the actions.
but it don't matter. They said you're not supposed to judge, and that's not true. The thing about it is, you judge and be ready to be judged. That's the issue with them too. They want to judge, but don't want to be judged. When you open up that door, you have every right to judge. But when it comes back, you can't be mad. You judge, be ready to be judged. That's just what it is. Like it's a two-way street. So again,
break that down. Break that down. You got to break that down. Give me an example of what you're talking about, because I'm still not understanding.
Of judging.
Judge and you will be judged. Give me a scenario in which that happens. Tell me.
I mean, just again, okay. Just this is the thing: the argument of sexuality on the internet. So okay, now they feel like you judging me because they feel like they're getting judged because of who they choose to sleep with, right? All right, but then the rainbow community, what do? They come back something with the Christian community. Oh, well, y'all pedophiles, or y'all are this, that, and the other. So everybody has that. They have this back and forth of, again, insults or they're holding each other accountable about something else. So it's like, okay, y'all mad about what who they sleep with. It's like they're not mad at of your sexuality or who you choose to sleep with. I think a lot of it right now in this time, it's about pushing it in my face and making me want to. You feel like for me to understand why you choose to swing a certain way, I need to live that life. I can't just understand why you that way.
Imposing.
I have to be in it with you to feel you and to understand
you. You have to be tolerant of it. You have to be tolerant. And tolerant means you have to suspend yourself of all belief in whatever principles or whatever dogma you may have subscribed to, albeit if you're a Christian, you should be tolerant to whatever form of degeneracy that they want to put out there. And I'm looking at this scripture too. So it says John 7:24, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Judge righteous judgment. So that right there is what we don't see happening anymore, because now we have embraced this notion of tolerance where everything is allowed. Oh yeah, come on in. You can do this, you can do that. Matter of fact, you can be a preacher if you like. Knowing dang on well you inviting the devil into your into your home and surprised at the results and the outcome of it. I don't even know if they surprised anymore, to be honest. I don't even know if they're like, I don't even think they care, because it's so heavily promoted now. Like I would drive downtown right now and I would see a bunch of churches that says, it has like the rainbow, which they completely hijacked. It's not even what that's supposed to meant. But they have churches now just promoting it, fully accepting of it. Come on in. And it's like, at what point are you supposed to say something? Or you just
I mean, you gotta welcome them in to see a change, right?
You can welcome them in, but you ain't got to promote it and put it. You ain't got to put the post like plastic rainbow flag.
The problem is when you want to still be front street. I have to put you on auxiliaries. You want to be the leader in the choir. You want to be the lead musician. You want to be just, bro, come in here, praise your God, bro. You stop making us feel like we have to individually, point you out to make you feel, so everybody feels like it's an acceptance. Like we're accepting you. But the lifestyle comes with it. But bro, at the end of the day, Are you changing that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're not, we can't just keep putting you front street.
Mm-hmm.
Understand and respect that. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that nobody's condemning you,
It's
but it's telling
attention.
you the
Yeah.
word is telling you, bro, like we can't put you front street.
Right. They want the
It ain't
attention.
like that.
They want the attention.
Even the
Put the
pastors,
spotlight on us.
even the pastors, like when you
Mm-hmm.
know that they're pedophiles, when you know that they're cheaters, stop allowing them to do that. They're at front street. If we can't allow the gays to be front street, we can't allow the shaky pastors to be in the front. Call it out.
Call it out. I agree
Call
with
it
you.
out.
I
Like I
agree.
said, you can't be. I'm not gonna single y'all out because y'all live a bad lifestyle. Call all cheaters out. Call
All of it out. All of
all
it.
thieves out. All
If it don't
liars
apply,
out.
if it don't apply, let it fly.
If they are front street and they are holding the auxiliary that holds the responsibility of leading by the in the front, they need to be implementing some type of change. And if they still want to live that life standard, call them out
Setting
because
a
you have
standard.
to put it on front street to make them feel comfortable to A, step down, or B, to correct themselves.
Yeah. You're not going to have any sort of initiative to change if there's no incentive to change. And generally, people have to strip themselves of their identity and their egos to even be receptive to what
Mhm.
someone is trying to tell them. That's why I think the military is so instrumental in helping. You know, I'm not going to say all men, but a lot of men um, develop that resilience to be, to just equip them with the fortitude to be able to handle and navigate throughout life, because it's what the military does in boot camp. And correct me if I'm wrong, if there's any vets out there, but they strip you of your identity. Whatever you come in there with, they strip you of it, and beat you down to your bare bones, and they have to essentially build you back up. And that's why I'm saying, like, we don't have that sort of
What you said the last time? Bring back Shane.
bring back shame. Bring back shame. We need shame. We need shame. We
But
need to shame.
the way that
Yes.
you was the way that you was bringing it up last time, it was no love behind it though. The
Oh,
shame,
stop it.
the shame has to have some type of love behind it for it to be taken seriously, and for it to, it has to come from a good place for people to even feel, open to hear it.
The only time that shame will come out in a vitriolic sort of impassioned uh, 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 approach or presentation is if it's met with some sort of combative resistant force, meaning I'm gonna talk to you respectfully if you're willing to be respectful to me. I'm just not gonna sit there idly and allow you to disrespect me. I'm going to say what I have to say, and we're going to have a dialogue. We're going to have a civil discourse amongst each other about the exchange of ideas and what you may believe in, what I believe in. But if it rises to the level of disrespect, and and the shame component seems to have triggered you to where you want to disrespect, then I'm gonna have to, that's when it comes out the way it does sometimes, and that's when it lacks that love. And I mean, honestly, I would argue that tough love is still a thing. I just think people don't implement it as much, but tough love is needed too.
Oh no, tough love is abuse now.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Can't give tough love anymore, bro.
You ain't lying about that.
Can't give it. So at the end of the day, we got man. Listen, and the next, your girl just said some shit that I hope she know how serious that comment was, but the next 10 years is the most crucial that people need to pay attention to though. These
Mm-hmm.
next 10 years is going to be the most crucial. If we let 10 years slip through our fingers, it is over with and it is no coming.
Ooh, you ain't lying.
You will
You ain't
not
lying.
be 40 years old thinking you can still save the world, bro. Like
Yeah,
millenniums if the millenniums do not, the next 10 years, and I believe it's gonna be less than 10,
yeah.
but if the millenniums do not tighten up, because a lot of millenniums right now are about to, the ones that do have kids, in the next 10 years, a lot of them kids will start graduating high school.
Mm-hmm.
They will be graduating across the stage, bro. So if those kids start going into this world lost, like these are going to be our doctors and our lawyers.
It's a wrap.
You know, these are the ones that's gonna be doing our surgeries. These are the ones that are gonna be the ones diagnosing us. But what they want to do, they all want to be therapists now. They all want to just sit there. Oh, because I need therapy. You got all the black community thinking they need that. They around here crazy as hell.
Therapy.
Charlemagne told everybody, "Oh, go to a therapist." Like
Mm-hmm.
it was always that we needed to find some way to talk our trauma out, but now it is a laughing stock now of therapy because we're pushing that so hard now. And it is, again, that is another indoctrination camp. You telling them, oh no,
Mm-hmm.
you are being taken advantage of.
Never getting any, never
It's
reaching
no
any
solution.
solution.
We're just beating
No
in
solution.
my head
Yep.
victim mentality.
Victimhood.
You know what I'm
Let me
saying?
let me catch up with some of these chats. Jess says at Deborah Morris, what you think about the young Yanuka over there performing healing miracles? I think he might be the false messiah. Kamisha says Trump old, but he don't miss a beat. Sorry, I just trust no one at this point. Ha ha ha. But I agree, he is still the best man for the job. Deborah says we have no bullets anyway. We Americans got sold out a long time ago, starting with Bush signing the Noahide laws in 1991, and a year later signing the Agenda 21 agreement with the U.S. UN today U.S. Agenda 2030. Good lord, I got to read into that. Um, Jess says, yeah, and let's all ignore Biden and his treasonous dealings with China. I know, right? And Hunter. Where's Hunter? Um, Jess says it's deflection. Evil abounds in the White House. I don't know at this point. Jess says, I don't know at this point. It's really hard to. Oh, Deborah says, I don't know at this point. It's really hard to pinpoint who the Antichrist is. There have been many. I think he is one of them, but not actual one in prophecy. Okay. Jess says, true. We all got all we can do is stay prayed up, honestly. Sorry about the misspelling. Okay, no, you good, Jess. I mean, Deborah. The whole point is to keep us divided. Yep. Jacqueline says, um, only trust God. Don't let no man deceive you. Deborah says, funny thing is, there is no mention of the Baptist, Methodist, or any doctrine. We are to be holy as God is holy. We are to use his righteous judgment. That's the Bible. Dion says, that's the Bible. Jacqueline says, judge right according to the Bible. Jess says, it's not about religion. When you read and study the Bible fervently, God will reveal himself to you. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. He speaks through the as you when you seek him, spirit. Scripture does not, Deborah says, scripture does not give us as followers of Jesus Christ permission to judge. We will even be judgment over the angels. Okay. Jacqueline says, use of bad language is evil. I think she's talking to you, JP. Jess says, study to show thyself approved. Deborah says, new age movement, demonic is in the church. Jacqueline says, holiness is the way. Deborah says, so many churches are connected to the uh, ecumenical council of the Vatican that there lays the problem. Jess says, pride comes before the fall. That is true. Iniquity was found in Lucifer. All sinners have their place if they repent. Just says, hell yeah. Let me scroll down. Deborah says, the military Medal of Honor has a false goddess on it. The same goddess that is the Statue of Liberty. Did you know the Statue of Liberty sits on a pentagram? I did not know that. Y'all giving me a lot to think about tonight.
Mm.
Jacqueline says, read the whole Bible in Revelation. Jess says, yep, Lady Liberty is literally Columbia. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. Well, my boy JP is into the rabbit holes.
Mhm.
Jess says AI is going to take over all of the major professions. I know they're already talking about AI lawyers and judges. Jess says they're already using it to diagnose diseases. We are going to be like caged animals. Um, Focus on Jesus, give your life to Him, and don't love the things in it. Yeah, real talk. Rockefeller in 1902 bought the General Education Board for 123 million. Sorry, it's 125 million. Jacqueline says Jesus is on the only way.
In
All
19,
right, we are caught up. Yeah, 1902. You know anything about that?
no, but I'm just thinking 100 and just things in 1902 was still you know how much bread you had 123 mil
That's a
in
oh my goodness.
1902. Well,
Woo.
everything was not it was not worth much. Bro,
Man,
like a lot of the NFL and NBA teams 20, 30 years ago, Jerry Jones bought the fucking Dallas Cowboys for like 800,000, 600,000, or some shit like that.
no way. Did he really?
Like eight, like it was, yeah. Like let me see, it was a couple, it was like a couple hundred thousand, and it's now worth like it's billions now. Like the buy-in for that shit was not much back in the day. It had to been like because it wasn't millions yet when he bought that team. It
Oh
wasn't millions
wow.
when he bought that team.
That's
So
crazy. I did not know that.
103 million
Mm-hmm.
like in 1902, not 1952,
Mm-hmm.
not 1982, 1902, coming from the 1800s with 123 million. It's a lot of damn money.
That's a lot of money, bro.
That was just a flex to say, bitch, don't play with me.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. It's
Sorry,
a
you
whole lot of
said
money.
bad language is evil. Sorry. Mm,
Jacqueline, he can't help himself.
can't
It
help
just
myself.
happens. Um, I think we about good, man. We've been in this bad boy for an hour and a half. I don't want to keep you too long. You gotta get up tomorrow. Work tomorrow too.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I feel that. I feel
oh
that.
yeah.
Me
A
too.
couple hours. Yeah, but storm hitting, man. So it'll probably be shut down for a little minute, for at least a day or two. So
Oh, I
maybe a
got you.
day, maybe 2 days. So yeah, tomorrow is pretty much gonna be get in there real quick and get out. Probably a
Mm,
couple hours. Get in
I
there and
got you.
try to get those them things off the ship and then get up
I
out of there.
got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in with us tonight. I really appreciate it. I know it's kind of like last minute and absolutely random, but you guys are fantastic for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, always go subscribe, please. I haven't been on this social media platform for some time now, so I'm sure all the notifications and everything is like all that stuff just defaulted back to being you guys
Lost
being
the algorithm,
unsubscribed.
please.
Yeah, yeah, I'm completely like kicked out of the algorithm. So if you guys could hit that notification and subscribe and all that, I really appreciate you. Uh Thank you all again for tuning in. And JP, is always a pleasure to have my man JP on here, taking us down a rabbit hole, keeping it all solid and in control. And look, man, my man is bold. I tried to rap there, but that was kind of whack.
As always, brother, I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. I'll holler at you, man. Y'all have a good night.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, peace.